Hello, my name is Will Alexander, and today I will read you an excerpt from my book, Me Jonah. I was in trouble. I tried to take a big breath this time before calling for help, but my mouth hit the water again and I choked. My head went all the way under. No matter how hard I kicked my legs and fought with my arms, it wasn't making any difference. Pretending to be a good swimmer was a huge mistake. Right then, something strange happened. I was watching everything happen like in a movie, sort of in slow motion too. I saw a boy fighting to swim, but getting nowhere. I watched him fighting and knew how mixed up he was, not knowing what to do next. But even weirder, it wasn't me now. Somehow I was outside myself watching this happen. Then it got even stranger. "You're okay," a voice said. "I'm here with you." It wasn't actually words this other person said as much as something that came into my head. I looked around but couldn't see anything except for myself sinking further down. "Who are you? Who's here with me?" I wondered in my head. Then this someone got a name. "Lizabeth," it answered. "Do you remember? I'm not a stranger to you." "Lizabeth?" I thought back, getting the hang of how things worked. It surprised me how easy this was, talking not in words but by thinking them. It made sense, too, because the other me couldn't have talked even if he wanted to. That little boy was underwater, not breathing, and at the pool's bottom. "I've always been with you, since the before time." She was so calm. "You have nothing to be afraid of, I promise," Elizabeth said. "You will never need to be afraid." What's going on? How can I see myself like this? Then an idea came to me, although it clashed with my feeling more alive than ever. Did I die? "No, you didn't. You aren't going to die today," she said.
Hello, my name is Peter Brindley, and I'm sitting here with Will Alexander, author of the new book, Me Jonah. Obviously, love ends up being a huge theme throughout the book. You have the experience of the narrator who learns of, I think at one point you said, he was talking to his father, and the father said, "We'd fulfilled our agreement." And it was this concept of an agreement that was made before their life on earth, that they were going to have this love connection. They were going to have this father-son relationship. Mm-hmm. And you see this speckled throughout the other characters and the other metaphysical experiences. There's Lisbeth at the beginning, who knows the narrator from the before time. We don't know their direct relationship, but we know that there was one. And so there's this idea of love throughout the book, of not only the love that existed in the life of this man, his wife, his child, his family, but also the love of these soul connections that were happening both inside of the physical world we know and outside. And so I want to know, what kind of message do you hope readers will take away regarding the enduring power of love from your work?
Yeah, Peter, that may be really the heart of the whole novel, to be honest with you. I think the thing that I would like the reader to take away from reading this, other than be uplifted by it, is the fact that, you're not alone in the universe, despite its vastness, which we can't even comprehend. You look at things from a scientific perspective, and we're kind of just the result of a fortunate collision of amino acids in the primordial stew of Earth 4.5 billion years ago. And that's what science tells you, right? And the novelist challenges that there's nothing by accident, that, again, despite its apparent indifference in size, that the universe is very much localized and aware of you and your circumstances. And when the time is right for you to be moved forward through hardships in life, where you're beginning to lose hope, when you're beginning to, feel nothing but despair, it intervenes. And, the universe I use kind of as the broader context, but take it to the next level. Well, the universe is not an animate being. Well, maybe it's animated by a larger force. And I leave it to the reader to decide that. Some people would call it God, some people would call it the intelligent designer, some people would just say, even things that seem to be inexplicable are just the result of chance and probability scales tilting in your favor that day. Well, the novel doesn't believe that. The novel's really all about, you're not alone, that you're loved more than you know, that you matter. And at the times where you most need to be reminded of that, something interlopes from another reality to let you know that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most interesting parts of the sort of whole story, that in every chapter is based on this meaning, what some people may call just a coincidence.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's an extremely meaningful coincidence that occurred at the exact right point in time when the character needed some kind of intervention to bring them back to a place of hope, of love, of enduring peace, of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Will, I want to say thank you for taking the time to chat with me.
Peter, thank you for the really thoughtful questions. I really enjoyed the discussion, and I have high hopes for the book, and I think it could change or bring a lot healthier of a vibe to a lot of people if they take the time to read it. I don't think they'll be disappointed, and I know that it will certainly lift them up.